I'll be making a traditional Ikenobo Shoka arrangement for your New Year's that is called Shochikubai. And the name is just really describing the three materials that are used for this arrangement, which are pine, it's evergreen, and so it represents long life, uh, bamboo, which is very resilient, it will bend in the wind, but it won't break. And then Japanese flowering apricot or ume, which is the sign of new life at the beginning of the new year. It's one of the first trees to bloom. And so we're going to do a shoka style. The arrangement I'm making facing me, I'll be turning it around. So the very first branch I'm going to select is my shin. And you may know that there are three main stems in shoka: a shin, a soi, and a tai. So let me, based on the material I have, I decided to use the ume for my shin and soi. So the first thing I want to do is I actually want to find the side of the branch that was facing the sun. And I'll let you know in a little bit. And you can tell usually, not always, but the darker side of a branch is the sunny side. So if one side is darker than the other, and I think this is it, that was the side facing the sun. And so, again, the front is facing me. I'm going to insert the shin branch slightly in the center. And it's actually the front of the branch, or the sunny side of the branch, is actually going to face back. And I'll describe that in a second. But what I want to do is I want to center it and make sure it's in there firmly. Okay. And now I'm going to trim some of this. And so a shoka arrangement, we have the sense of a sunny side and a shady side, the yo and in. And so the sunny side is actually above the soi, and on the soi side. And so we want the sunny side of the branch to face the soi. And I was able to find a very nice branch that I wanted to use to emphasize the soi. And so let me trim it a little bit. And in shoka, what we do is we line up the material at the base. And then for maybe 3 inches up, we want to see a very clean path from the beginning of the arrangement all through the end. It should look like a single stem. So you can mute this. Whoops. And so the soi actually flows back. And so we're going to place it. And let me just trim a little bit. So right now I just have my two of my main stems. So let me just show you. You have your shin and your soi. They're actually facing each other. The soi is flowing back. Again, the sunny side is on this side. This side will be the shady side. And it becomes important when selecting branches. So you want older branches on the sunny side, younger stems on the shady side. Okay. Now, I'm thinking of maybe putting a helper here. Ume, like all the prunus, so peach and plums and cherries, their branches are very pliable. They will, or resilient in the sense that you can crack them and they won't break in two. So you notice I wanted to get a little more of a curve, so I broke it in 2 places. So this is probably all the ume I will use. My sheen, soy, this is a soy front helper. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to put in is the pine. And in this case, the pine is really going to be a helper or an ashirai. You'll still be able to see it, it just will not be one of the main stems. And so again, we want a very clean base, so I'm going to clean the stem at the bottom. And what I want to make sure is that everything lines up and it doesn't detract from what's behind it. So I want to make sure we insert it in such a way that it sort of highlights. Okay. Let me. Okay. So again, this is just the front helper to the sheen. Sheen, soy, front helper for the soy, front helper for the sheen. And now I'm going to add the tie area. One of the things with Shochikubai is there are certain rules that you have to follow. And one is related to the bamboo. If you're making a traditional Shochikubai, then you must have the very first stem you see must be bamboo. No matter what position it takes, if it takes the sheen, the soy, the tie, it must be inserted in the front. The very first knot that you see coming out should be about 3 inches from the rim of the container, and then it should be an odd number of notches. Okay. So let me insert this here. Okay. And then I'm going to use these for the tie group. And so it's going to emerge from behind that first stem and flow out. And what we want to do is, if the soy flows into my left, the tie will flow to my right. That would be considered a right-hand arrangement. Let me maybe just add a little more weight to it here. I was very lucky in that both the pine and, the bamboo and the ume are from my yard. The pine is from a class I gave last month, and I've been keeping it in water and keeping my fingers crossed. So I think it's worked. And I'm just adding another piece of bamboo to give it a little more softness at the top while not detracting. Okay. So This is a traditional Shoka arrangement for New Year, Shochikubai. We have the shin, the soy, the tai. We have some helpers, both for the soy and for the shin, and even the tai. Okay. Again, the sunny side is over the soy, the shady side is on the opposite.